So here, okay, so let's leave it. But we all know that at least is the same thing that is there. So now this GL code is the same thing with what is in this um GL account here. So let's look at something. Look at this table, this account table. What kind of table is this? And what type of table is this GL transaction? We talked about dimension table and fact table yesterday, right? So who can tell me which one is dimension table, which one is fact table within the two tables? Hello? Is it account table that is dimension table or fact table? GL transaction, is it a fact table or a dimensional table? Anyone? Ah, okay. Here, this one. What about this one? Yeah, and that is fact table. That's fact table. Fact table tells us different events that have occurred. If you look at this account is the dimension table. That is just giving more information about this code. That is, whenever you see this code, this is the name, this is the category, and this is the statement, the final statement that it will be. But in GL transaction, GL transaction, you have the GL code. So all those transactions that have occurred relating to that GL code is what this GL transaction is telling us. You can see that the amount is there for a GL code. The journal for the GL code is there. You get? And in fact, this journal too, it should have its own name. So which means that it is assuming we have another sheet now, there should be a dimension sheet that is journal table that will be describing everything about this journal, maybe the name, you get, the name of the journal. Then this code also will be there. Then these users too should have another table. So which means that there are many foreign key in this table, and when there are more than one foreign key, you get, which means that it's a fact table. In this account now, the only, in dimension table we have primary key. So the primary key there is what? Is this year code. So this one has only one primary key. And of course, if you now have primary key in fact table, it will be called a what? A foreign key inside fact table. So please, you need to go and refresh the slide presentation that we did yesterday. And the reason why I'm saying this is that it is these two keys that you need to identify so that you can do merge tables together. Because if you notice that, assuming um I want to prepare my trial balance, I'm sure most of us are accountants here, right? So now this GL transaction, you cannot see the balance sheet, like where the account that each of these will go to, part of the statement is going to go to, is not here. So I can match these two tables together. And what I'm going to use to match them is this GL code. So that this the transaction, the amount, the transaction amount that will go to each GL name will now be attached to each together. And that's what I'm going to try now. So let's get started in doing that. So remember, I want to attach this GL name. I want to attach the amount that will enter each of them. I want it to be appearing in one table together. So I'm trying to merge this and this together. And what I'm going to merge them is this GL code. So which means that I'm trying to create a relationship between this account and GL code. So what I'll use to create relationship is the GL code. So the GL code must also be in GL transaction so that I can be able to create a relationship between them. So how will I now merge the two tables together now is I'm going to go to transform, sorry, home tab, then you go to merge queries. So there's a drop down arrow there. You click on drop down arrow, either merge queries or merge as new queries. The merge queries means that I want to match this account and GL transaction together in the GL transaction without creating another new query. So why creating new query is that I'm matching the both in a particular separate query. So what I want to do is that I want to merge them together in new query so that I can see what I've joined together. So you click on merge as new query. So this is GL transaction, right? Yes. Then what's the second one that I want to merge? I'm merging accounts. So the joining kind is the left outermost. Okay. Then I need to now select what I'm going to use to join them. That is the relationship that is this. So I'm going to select this and also this. So you can see Power Query has even tell me that yes, it has matched this number of rows together from the first table. So if I assuming I select this amount and went and select this also, you can see that it's telling me that select columns of the same type so that I can be able to continue. It won't be able to match them together because they are not of the same type. So I'm going to use the GL account here and the GL code there so that we can match them together. So you say okay. So let's look at what it has done. So if you notice something, what you are seeing here is the GL transaction, right? Then the other account that occur, this is it. So you click on these two arrow that you are seeing so that you can select the information from that other account that you want to merge with this one. So let's click on it. Class, hope you are going along with me. Hope I'm not teaching myself. Hello? Okay, okay. So you can so once you click on that two arrows that you're seeing, then it should tell you to select the one that you want to retain, right? So remember, we already have GL code, the GL name and the GL category and statement is what we want to retain. So you unselect this one, then you click OK. Then use original column name as prefix. Let's use that. Let's see what it will happen. Say OK. You can see. You can see. So now, if I want to now look at, okay, what's my total if I want to do okay what if I want to do okay what's my total, let's say total inventory, I can be able to I'll just filter it from here, unselect everything and pick inventory, click on OK. So all these amounts are for inventory only. So of course I can't be able to know them in this, the total I can't be able to know them here. It will be in my what's it called, in my visualization tool, or probably when I import it to Excel. That's when you can now say, okay, after you filtered inventory, then you total all of them to know what total inventory will be. But of course, you can see how you can merge dimension table and fact table together in this Power Query, because this account here, there is no amount there, so it's just as if it's useless. But to make it useful, you need to now merge these two together so that the amount for each can be able to be attached to each GL name. And we've been able to successfully do that because of this GL code that are common between the two tables. So did we get that? So this is my merge. So I can now rename this to my transaction table. So then we can, so this expanded account, you could look at this name of the account that we just merged, account.gl name. We don't want that. So for us to, because it's only GL name that we want to retain, we can change it by double click, then cancel. But you can't be doing that, especially when it's maybe it's like 5 or 20 column that you match to a new table here. So what you can just do is, there's a setting button here by the right. We on that step of expand account, you click on it, then you now come and cancel this default column name prefix. Just cancel it and click OK. You see that it automatically return the normal, that second name that is appearing there before. So we are fine like this. So that's another thing that Power Query does in terms of transformation of data. So do we have any question? Is it clear? Did we enjoy the class? Is it, am I communicating, please? Okay. So do you have any question? Can I still go ahead?